The South African National Defence Union says there's nothing sinister about government's decision to deploy soldiers to guard the elections. President Cyril Ramaphosa has given the go-ahead for about 10,000 members of the SANDF to be stationed or deployed at various hotspots in the country. Ramaphosa has indicated that the deployment of the soldiers is expected to cost just over 47 million rand. Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape were all identified as hotspots. The union's Pikkie Greef says the SANDF's decision to have the operation in full swing until Wednesday is a good one.
I think in the context of the July riots and unrest and the intelligence showing that there was a definite aim at economic sabotage, it's probably not an excessive number of soldiers to be deployed during this election. And it's not an unusual thing for the SANDF to be deployed during elections. We've had that ever since 1994 at a much smaller scale. But I think, as I said, the July events do warrant one to rather err on the side of caution.
Greef says the July civil unrest in the country is a good example of how much government should prepare to curtail any possible violence during the elections.
I think this deployment that we're talking about today on the elections is an excellent example of where the deployment is based on intelligence that has been gathered, and the planning is based on intelligence that has been gathered and identified and so on. So I think that's a model for going forward in the future. Certainly what needs to be done is that the cooperation between intelligence services and the military itself should really be ramped up, and we hope that this election's deployment is an example of what we would be seeing going forward. And that is a very big qualification that one has to put to it, is that the SANDF cannot continue to go under these budgetary constraints. It cannot be deployed on the basis of ad hoc being awarded a certain amount of money to do a certain task. The Defence Force budget overall needs to be revamped, it needs to be boosted, and that is the responsibility of the politicians in Parliament. And the union has been going on, and other institutions have been going on about politicians continually slashing the SANDF budget. That undermines SANDF capabilities, it demoralizes members in the Defence Force, and this enables our Defence Force to do what is expected from them at all times. We cannot run a Defence Force on an ad hoc basis. We need a permanent baseline of proper budgeting and being equipped and enabled to do the job that is required from the SANDF.